Everyone, welcome back to Reading Corner. I'm so glad that you could come today and listen to some stories. So today I have another story. It's actually the next story in the series about the Very Cranky Bear, because remember the other day I read the book about the Very Cranky Bear. So this again is a book that was loaned to me by my friends Audrey and Caleb. So hi Audrey, hi Caleb, thank you so much for lending me your books about the Cranky Bear, because they're a lot of fun. So today's book about the bear is called The Very Hungry Bear. So we'll find out what happens when poor bear gets very hungry and needs to go fishing for some fish. Then we have a very classic story, a very sweet story about the Ugly Duckling. And I know you've probably heard it before, or maybe even read a book yourselves about the Ugly Duckling, but this is just a sweet one with some really quite lovely pictures for you to enjoy. So I'll read that nice and slow. And then the final book today that you probably know, and a lot of you may have heard it or read it yourselves, or your mum or dad or someone has read it for you, is called Fox in Socks. This is a book that my dad read to me when I was little, and I've read it to my kids lots of times. And you know, I read it so many times and I still get all mixed up with my words and get things all tangled and messed up. So I tend to be a little bit like Mr. Knox more than Mr. Fox in that book, but I will give it my very best try for you all today because it's a fun book to read. So let's start with The Very Hungry Bear. And we'll read about what happens when Bear meets Polar Bear. Bear was in a grumpy mood. He hadn't eaten any food and he couldn't catch a single fish to cook. He'd been hungry since the break of day and every fish had got away. Now something huge was on his hook. Yank! He cranked the handle round and round. He yanked the line and wound and wound. He flicked it here and waved it over there. A hungry bear is very strong, so it didn't take him very long to discover that he'd caught a polar bear. Do you have to fish there? Said the hungry brown bear. You are catching all of the fish. I'm sorry, he said as he lifted his head. You can have one of mine if you wish. Then he added with a smile, you can have the whole pile if you'll just find me somewhere to stay. My iceberg is shrinking and soon I'll be sinking, and my home's such a long way away. Now, a fish to a bear is like a chocolate eclair. It's incredibly hard to resist. So the thought of a pile that would last for a while was an offer too good to be missed. With a splush and a splish and an armful of fish, Bear led the way through the trees. My cave's over there and I'm happy to share. You can stay for as long as you please. But his guest shook his head. I'm so sorry, he said, whilst your cave is particularly nice. It's just a bit hot for this coat that I've got and the fire is melting my ice. So they went to see Mole and he dug them a hole, which was cooler, but just a bit small. And they visited Croc on his cool river rock, but he wasn't that helpful. Ooh. Perhaps this is best, said the bear from a nest, but I think that I'm going to sneeze. And he squinted his eyes and he said with surprise, ah, phew, I'm allergic to trees. So the bear with white hair followed right behind Bear to the only place left they could go, away from the trees and the warm summer breeze, and all the way up to the snow. They built him a home with an icy white dome, and Bear left a housewarming dish With a smile and a wave, Bear went back to his cave, and he stopped on the way for a fish. So he was hungry, but in the end, he not only got some yummy fish, but he got a new friend as well. So that's a nice outcome, isn't it? Now we're going to read The Ugly Duckling. And I'm sure you all know this story about the little duckling who thought he was very ugly. It turns out he was something else entirely. There once was an ugly duckling with feathers all stubby and brown. And the other birds, in so many words, said, "Get out of town, get out, get out, get out of town." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack in a flurry of eiderdown. That poor little ugly duckling went wandering far and near, but at every place they said to his face, get out of here. Now get out of here, get out." And he went with a quack and a waddle and a quack and a very unhappy tear. All through the wintertime he hid himself away, ashamed to show his face, afraid of what others might say. All through the winter in his lonely clump of wheat, till a flock of swans spied him there and very soon agreed, "You're a very fine swan indeed." "A swan? Me? A swan? Ah, go on." And he said, "Yes, you're a swan. Take a look at yourself in the lake and you'll see." And he looked and he saw and he said, "I am a swan! Whee!" I'm not such an ugly duckling. No feathers all stubby and brown, for in fact these birds in so many words said, "The best in town, the best in town." Not a quack, not a quack, not a waddle or a quack, but a glide and a whistle and a snowy white back and a head so noble and high. Say, who's an ugly duckling? Not I, not I. The end. You know, I really love the story of the ugly duckling. It's nice to hear a story about someone who wasn't quite sure where they fit in and then discovered that they did have a family and a place to belong. But here's the thing. I think maybe if we meet people who look different or act different to us, it's still nice to just welcome them and make them feel included and be kind to them and not say, "Get out of town," or "Go away, we think you're ugly." I think no matter what people look like or sound like, what they wear, we just should be kind. And I'm sure that all of you agree with me. And I am absolutely sure that all of you are just the kindest people and that you wouldn't be like those other little ducklings, but that you would be kind like the swans. I know it. Now, our final book, Fox in Socks. And you're just going to read along with me. And if you are a reader, see if you can read these tongue twisters with me. But I'm going to have a sip of my drink first, because I need to wet my whistle before I scuttle these tongue twisters. Here we go. Fox, socks, ox, knocks. Knocks in box, fox in socks. Knocks on fox in socks in box. Socks on knocks and knocks in box. Fox in socks on box on knocks. Chicks with bricks come, chicks with blocks come, chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. Look, sir, Mr. Knox, sir, let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir. First, I'll make a quick trick brick stack. Then I'll make a quick trick block stack. You can make a quick trick chick stack. You can make a quick trick clock stack. And here's a new trick, Mr. Knox. Socks on chicks and chicks on fox. Fox on clocks on bricks and blocks. Bricks and blocks on knocks on box. Now we come to ticks and tocks, sir. Try to say this, Mr. Knox, sir. Clocks on fox tick, clocks on knocks tock. 6 sick bricks tick, 6 sick chicks tock. Please, sir, I don't like this trick, sir. My tongue isn't quick or slick, sir. I get all those ticks and clocks, sir, mixed up with the chicks and tocks, sir. I can't do it, Mr. Fox, sir. I'm so sorry, Mr. Knox, sir. Here's an easy game to play. Here's an easy thing to say. New socks, two socks. Whose socks? Sue's socks. Who sews whose socks? Sue sews Sue's socks. Who sees who sew whose new socks, sir? You see Sue sew Sue's new socks, sir. That's not easy, Mr. Fox, sir. Who comes? Crow comes. Slow Joe Crow comes. Who sews Crow's clothes? Sue sews Crow's clothes. Slow Joe Crow sews whose clothes? Sue's clothes. Sue sews socks a fox in socks now. Slow Joe Crow sews knocks in box now. Sue sews rose on Slow Joe Crow's clothes. Fox sews hose on Slow Joe Crow's nose. Hose goes, rose grows. Nose hose goes some, crow's rose grows some. Mr. Fox, I hate this game, sir. This game makes my tongue quite lame, sir. Mr. Knox, sir, what a shame, sir. We'll find something new to do now. Here is lots of new blue goo now. New goo, blue goo, gooey, gooey. Blue goo, new goo, gluey, gluey. Gooey goo for chewy, chewing. That's what that goo goose is doing. Do you choose to chew goo too, sir? If sir, you, sir, choose to chew, sir, with the goo goose, chew, sir, do, sir. Mr. Fox, sir, I won't do it. I can't say it, I won't chew it. Very well, sir, step this way. We'll find another game to play. Bim comes, Ben comes. Bim brings Ben broom. Ben brings Bim broom. Ben bends Bim's broom. Bim bends Ben's broom. Bim's bends, Ben's bends. Ben's bent broom breaks, Bim's bent broom breaks. Ben's band, Bim's band, big bands, pig bands. Bim and Ben lead bands with brooms. Ben's band bangs and Bim's band booms. Pig band, boom band, big band, broom band. My poor mouth can't say that, no, sir. My poor mouth is much too slow, sir. Well, then, bring your mouth this way. I'll find it something it can say. Luke Luck likes lakes. Luke's duck likes lakes. Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck licks lakes. Duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. Luke Luck takes licks in lakes duck likes. I can't blab such blibber blabber. My tongue isn't made of rubber. Mr. Knox, now come now, come now. You don't have to be so dumb now. Try to say this, Mr. Knox, please. Through 3 cheese trees, 3 free fleas flew. While these fleas flew, freezy breeze blew. Freezy breeze made these 3 trees freeze. Freezy trees made these trees cheese freeze. That's what made these 3 free fleas sneeze. Stop it, that's enough, sir. I can't say such silly stuff, sir. Very well then, Mr. Knox, sir, let's have a little talk about tweetle beetles. What do you know about tweetle beetles? Well, when tweetle beetles fight, it's called a tweetle beetle battle. And when they battle in a puddle, it's a tweetle beetle paddle battle. And when tweetle beetles battle with paddles in a puddle, they call it a tweetle beetle puddle paddle battle. And when beetles battle beetles in a puddle paddle battle, and the beetle battle puddle is a puddle in a bottle, they call this a tweetle beetle bottle puddle paddle battle muddle. And when beetles fight these battles in a bottle with their paddles, and the bottle's on a poodle and the poodle's eating noodles, they call this a muddle puddle tweetle poodle beetle noodle bottle paddle battle. And now wait a minute, Mr. Socks Fox. When a fox is in the battle where the tweetle beetles battle with their paddles in a puddle on a noodle-eating poodle, this is what they call a tweetle beetle noodle poodle bottled, paddled, muddled, duddled, fuddled, waddled fox in socks, sir. Fox in socks, our game is done, sir. Thank you for a lot of fun, sir. The end. We did okay, didn't we? How did you do? Maybe you need to rewind it and see if you can try it again if you got your little mixed up mouth getting all mixed up like Mr. Knox, or maybe you were like fox in socks and you could say it so easily. I'm sure, because you're all very clever, that you could do exactly what Mr. Fox in Socks did and say those tongue twisters just beautifully. But if not, keep practicing. It makes it fun. Thank you so much for coming to visit today. And thank you again to Audrey and Caleb for lending me some really wonderful books from your bookshelf. And guess what, everybody? Today I'm going to the library to get even more wonderful books so that we'll have lots more books to read in our reading corner. But until then, I'll say bye for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.